Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Beauty School Bobby podcast. Today, I am doing something that I've never done before. We are about to celebrate 8 years of the Beauty School Bobby podcast. And during this time, we have changed and pivoted and moved so much. But based on feedback and where we see the direction of this podcast going, we are going to start doing more consistent. So every Monday, having episodes come out. But if I don't have a guest lined up, or if there is something that I just feel like I need to talk about or want to talk about, we're going to hop on the podcast. And so you can count on weekly episodes of Beauty School Bobby, sometimes with a guest and sometimes with just me. So we are so excited about this. A little nervous because I've never done this before. I'm actually have Mark sitting up here with me in the studio because I'm nervous to just be talking at a screen. So if you know me, you know that I am much better speaking to people, but having him up here helps. And I'm just really excited to connect with you all more and to open up a little bit more to share more of my story and what I am learning and growing through all of this. So welcome to the first episode of Beauty School Bobby all alone. So, on this first episode, there are a few things that I wanted to talk about, and I want to share some of the things that I've been learning. I've been trying to journal when things are happening in my life, or things that I want to share, things that I feel like would help other people. I think the reality is that there is a season of change happening in my life right now, and I think that as I'm going through all of this, there are just some things that I need to share because I know that there are so many people out there listening that either have the same experience or I work with mostly, young adults and young women. And I think that it's important to share these things that I've learned because I feel like if these students or my audience or whoever you are can benefit from some of the things that I'm going through. I think that that is so helpful. So one of the things that we've talked about doing with the Beauty School Bobby podcast is to do an introduction. So if you are new here, I want to tell you who I am and a little bit more about me, and then we'll kind of get into the topics for today. So I am Bobbi Powell. I started the Beauty School Bobby podcast 8 years ago as a wild dream and a way to talk to people about the beauty industry. So my husband and I have gone through so many different ways of doing this, so many different ways of recording. For so long, I was just using a little weird task cam recorder. And that has now grown into the Beauty School Bobby podcast as you are watching it today. So we have switched formats. We've been in different studios, and I finally feel like we are exactly where we are meant to be. And again, that is 8 years later. So when people try to tell you that success comes, but it does not ever come overnight, I feel like that is so true. It's something that we have definitely experienced and just feel like now is the time that we're being called to do more with this and to see where we can go with this. So we're kind of all in at this point on what we're doing here, and we are so excited about it. You might be watching this show on the Beauty and Style Network. So the Beauty and Style Network is something that I created a few years ago as a space of what my idea of Beauty and Style Network was to be like the ESPN or the e-news for the beauty industry. So I wanted a space where all of the exciting things that were happening in the beauty industry could be found in one place. So my husband, Mark, has been running Beauty and Style Network for the last year, super hands-on. And he has really changed and grown this platform that we have. So we are in the beginning stages of Beauty and Style Network, but I am so excited to see where that goes. So make sure that you subscribe there also, because we have friends that share content on there. We try to partner with people that are positive and just kind of like-minded. We don't really want to buy into the negativity. We don't really ever live in that world. And so we want it to be like a positive reflection of the beauty industry. So there's a lot of stuff that you can catch there. in addition to that, we have two kids, Will and Finley. And so we are full time parents as well, and navigating that whole world. So we have one going into middle school, one going into second grade. That's obviously a huge part of our life. Today, I look a little more casual because we are about to take them on a little adventure today because school starts tomorrow. So, in all of this, please know that the mom aspect of what we're doing and the dad aspect of what we're doing is definitely going to be a part of what we talk about too. I am co-owner of Tennessee School of Beauty. So the way that I came into the beauty industry was 13 years ago. I'd ended up at Tennessee School of Beauty from a referral, friend of a friend, somebody in the industry that I had met and thought that I would be a really great fit for that school. And for the last 13 years, I have gone from working in admissions, which I still do. However, I am now co-owner of the business and partner in the school as well. So it's been a crazy journey, and I have learned so much over my 13 years at Tennessee School of Beauty. It is my foot into the beauty industry. It is the reason why I have met the most amazing people in my life, and I'm so thankful for it. My position there looks different every single day, but I am all in, and that is means that I wear a bunch of different hats there. My favorite thing that I do is admissions, so I still meet with students. When you come into Tennessee School of Beauty, you are either going to meet with me or my business partner Steven. And I do that because I feel like this is my purpose. I feel like helping people grow into this and encouraging them into a career that they've dreamed of is literally what I was meant to do. So I feel like the way that I am able to get back to the world is through that. So I love visiting high schools. We love doing career fairs, getting to meet people in high school and then watch them grow into their career. And at this point, since I have been doing this for so long, I have so many success stories and stories that I want to share with you. We have some ideas of some things that we want to do with some of the people that I have helped during this time, and just bringing them on and kind of highlighting what they're doing. So that is me. I feel like you're about to find out a lot more about me through these episodes that we're doing alone. But I am somebody who really believes that we are trying our best to be good, to be the best version of ourselves every single day. I think the one thing in our family that we identified and really try to stick to every single day is to be the best version of ourselves and to be who God has made us to be. And so through that, we learn a lot, and we mess up and we forgive and we walk through all of that. So I'm excited to talk about how we've kind of set up what we're doing as well outside of work, because the beauty industry is a huge part of my personal life as well. And so for us, there's not a ton of separation between work and life. We definitely have our time that we are away or we try to unplug, but I think for so long, and I think a lot of people try to live in two different worlds of here's my work life and here's my home life. But what has always worked best for Mark and I is for us to be working on this together, setting time to make this a part of our lives as well. It's something that our kids see us doing. It's something that our kids see us working on. They were just up here a second ago before we started recording, and just trying to show them that we're working on this thing together and that we are following our dreams together, is something that I love to show them. As far as like the business side of the school and everything, my kids love going in and visiting there. So our kids are super a part of what we're doing, and we try to include them as much as they want to be in that as well. So again, more about where we're at as a family. But I do think it's important for you to kind of have that background of me so that you know who I am if you don't know who I am already. So that was my little intro. We've literally never done that on the podcast, and kind of felt like it would be good for everyone to not have to catch up. If this is the first time you're listening, welcome. And I'm so excited to just do these episodes alone and kind of see where this goes. Okay, so my first topic that I want to talk about, and the first thing that I wanted to share on this alone episode, is something that has been coming up over and over and over again for me. And I am somebody that really believes that when repetition happens, when things keep happening, not that you go through it without hurt and pain and tears and all of the things, but what are you learning from it on the other side? So, over the last few years, just through the growth of the show, the growth of the school, there has been a lot of changes in our life and a lot of changes from the growth of who we are as people, and then also the growth and success of what we're doing. And what that looks like on this side of it, we have far from made it. There are so many more things that I want to achieve and accomplish, but I think that I did reach a place in my career, which is crazy that at 37, I can say, if all of this stopped right now, I would be so proud, so happy of what we've accomplished. I feel like the dreams that I had of hosting something, as well as building something, have absolutely come true. So I can say that in my mind, we have reached a point of success. Financially, I think with our family, I think that as scared as I am to even ever say this, I just do feel like we have worked and gotten to a place that I can be really proud of. Through that time, it does change things, I think, in your personal life. And I am about to be 38 years old. So I also think that I'm in a season of change and in a season of really seeing things for how they are. We pray often for clarity in situations and for understanding in situations. And I think that if after 13 years of being in the industry, I haven't changed or shifted, I think that there's like something wrong with that. So I have changed and shifted a lot over the last few years. I think this last year was a really big year of change for me. And I think that as we're looking more introspectively, right, like as we are working more about thinking more about how we operate and who we are in this world and what we want to be, the light that we want to be, and the example that we want to set, it's changed some things for us. And so through this time, the first thing that I want to talk about is what your circle might look like and where your circle might land, because we have definitely had a year of people that we, thought would be in our lives, forever in one way or another, or that they would always be in this box in our life, right? Are not there anymore or are in our life, but in a very different way. And for so long, I had lived my life as just somebody who just really wanted to make everybody else happy. And so had to do a lot of work on deprogramming from that. But I went through my life for so long of not having a sense of self or knowing like who I am. And I would just keep showing up for everybody else in the way that I felt like they needed me to show up. So if you were a prospective student, I wanted and still do, but want to make you feel comfortable and want to be who I think that you need me to be. And that is from parents and everybody. I mean, just every person in your life. In my life, I had shown up in that way, which was really great for everybody else. And it made me a very lovable person, and it made me somebody that a lot of people wanted to be around a lot because I tried to make things easy. And then as things shifted and as I started to change, to grow up, which I thought I would have reached before 37, but here we are, figuring it out. And I kind of feel like at 50, I'm still going to be in the same place and be like, oh, just still figuring it out. But I think now what I know is that our only way that we can show up for other people, work, family, friends, whatever that is who we really are. So one of the things that Mark and I talk about a lot is identifying who you want to be in this world. And not that at 10 years old, you need to decide who you are and then that's it for the rest of your life. But it's really important to, and this is all like Mark putting this into our family. So I don't get credit for this part for sure. This was Mark really teaching us to identify who we are, what our posture is in this world. And that's something that we as a family reflect on a lot, is how to keep our posture. So we know that we want to show up loving and kind and showing God's love every single day. Now, is that going to happen every single day? Like, obviously not. But we have our intention of who we want to be in this world. Now, after we identified that, I think that things definitely shifted in a lot of the relationships in my family. And I think when I stopped being somebody in my friends and family and work and all of that, not just family, but I think when I stopped being that, it really changed relationships. But what that also has done, and what the positive is in all of this, is that after I had made those decisions and then I started seeing things a little bit differently, I just kept praying that God would bring friends into my life, like good girlfriends that were going to be a positive influence in my life, and that were going to really help me grow. I think that for so long, I felt like nobody understood what we were doing. I'm like, I'm trying to be the best mom. I'm trying to be the best wife and blah, blah. And I didn't have a ton of people that I felt like I could go to and talk to. I think another thing that was hard, that I actually just identified as we're talking about this, is that as I was growing and achieving more success, I didn't necessarily have the right people in my corner that were going to understand that and not look at that as a negative to them. I definitely felt like I had people in my life that I felt like they thought I was bragging if I was talking to them about what we were doing, or maybe I felt like I had to downplay what we were doing. And I think that is huge. I think that when you feel like you're in a group of people and that you can't say exactly how things are, if you're like, oh yeah, I got this deal but it was only this, and you have to start talking bad about it, I think that you're in the wrong circle. And I think that it's so important to, again, show up with your posture set as you want it to be, and just have the right people in your life so that you're able to share that. So the thing that I've noticed happening recently for us is we've kind of outgrown some people that were in our life. We've outgrown some, and this is like in all aspects of our life. Things have just shifted, and not through anything really dramatic or anything crazy. It just kind of got harder to make time for certain people, or it just wasn't working out, or people kept coming into our lives that were really, really positive, and that we were like, oh, we want more of this. Oh, we feel so good when we hang around these people. We feel like it's best for our kids, it's best for the both of us. And what I've learned through this, and kind of my point in the lesson in all of this, was that I thought that when I made it, right, when success happened, I thought that the people that have been in my life for so long would be the first people cheering for me. But the reality is although people might not always notice or think that you notice, right? But you can see who's watching your stuff but not liking it. You can see who is not commenting on stuff anymore, or used to comment and used to really encourage you, right? And now that's gone. And not that the social media part of this is so important. That goes to phone calls and text messages, or just people showing up for you in your everyday life. I think it's so important to take note of who is supporting you, who's encouraging you, who is sending you those messages, just hyping you up. I have a few friends right now that I wasn't super close with 2 years ago, but now they are the people that are hyping up everything I'm doing, because it's not a competition. If somebody is insecure in their own life, right? If they don't have their posture figured out yet, what you're doing is going to make them feel insecure. Okay. Because they're not doing enough, or they're not doing what you're doing. And if they're not secure, they're not going to be able to show up for you, to support you. And that's okay, but that also needs to be seen. They don't get as much access to you as they had before. You're not going to show up for them in the same way. I thought there was no way. Like, if you would have asked me when I started this and when we got here, who the people would be that are in my corner that I would say encourage me the most, it's not at all what I thought it would be. And not that that's even something that is required of friendship, to like every post or comment on everything, but it matters. And I think that if we don't acknowledge that it matters who's supporting us. Um, I think that there's something wrong with that. I've heard people super, super close to me make comments about what we're doing all the time, and they just truly don't understand. We actually took a group of our friends and family with us to an event this year, and getting to see them actually watch what we do, because we downplay everything so much, really encouraged us to say, you know what, like we are doing something big, and this isn't just something that we get so excited about. This is reality, and it was so awesome to get to show people that we love what that looked like. I think that that's important, but I also think it's so important to just know that you should never ever have to beg somebody to show up for you, to support you, or to encourage you. I think it's also important that you become a person that's able to give that back. I try to, as much as I can, like all the stories, comment on all the posts of what my friends are doing. I think that it's a rare quality or a rare time in our life right now that we are chasing a dream so hard. We are running full speed towards a dream. And what is great about that is that it's exciting, and there's, ups and downs and all the things, and it's awesome, but there's not a ton of people that are doing that same thing. A lot of people are, and not that there's anything wrong with where they're at in their life or what their goals or dreams are, but not everyone is running so hard. And I think it's so important to keep people around you that even if they're not the ones that are running so hard, I have friends that are doing something completely different than what I'm doing, but they still show up to support and encourage and to make sure that we feel loved and seen and all of those things. So I think that the sooner that you can identify what posture you want to have, the sooner those, like the fake friends or the people that don't really support you or encourage you, will be able to leave your life. And I think that I was always so scared of that. I didn't want anybody to leave ever, until I was able to truly see that those people weren't helping me move forward. Those people were actually holding me back from what I wanted to do. So I think that it's all okay to know that these friendships or these relationships maybe are not going to last forever, and that you're going to change and your friends are going to change and all of that. I think as long as we're letting each other have that freedom to change and to grow, it's going to be together. It's going to be that you grow in different directions. And I think that I truly believe that everyone that is in my life at this current moment are people who are supporting us and encouraging us. And I'm so thankful for the group that we do have, even if it does look different than I thought it was going to look. And I think that that has obviously come with tears, and that's not an easy thing to go through. I've like cried over friendships that we've lost, or, been angry about, some things that have happened, but getting through on this side of it is so positive. And I know that that's going to change again and again as we cycle through this life. But I think that even if you have 3 friends that support you and that that you can call and are encouraging you, like that's huge. We always have had like a ginormous friend group. And as we've gotten older, and that has gotten smaller and smaller, when I've talked to other people in the industry or other successful people that have built businesses or done these big things, they all say that same thing. And that keeps coming up too through people I'm meeting and talking with. And I think that message of just like making sure that you have people around you that are lighting you up in a positive way is the absolute best thing. We recently had a friend over that I have been friends with this person for a while, but kind of going in, socially friends or whatever, but going into a space where we were actually all hanging out with our families and our kids and all that stuff. And after she left, we were texting about how good it felt to be together and how good it feels to be seen. And she's not in the industry that I'm in. She does something completely different. And the way that we're able to encourage each other in completely different ways is so special. And I was telling Mark that this like epiphany that I had, or this thought that I had and then like journaled, was that new people come into your life when you change. to see and to show you a new light. And what I think is so great about that is, as she's texting me all of these encouraging words, it really allows me to see that light in me as well. I think we all have people in our life that, you know, maybe don't make us feel the greatest after we're hanging out with them. But when you find those people that light you up after they leave and like just really truly love you and see you as who you are trying to be, right? I think that when you have friends that you say things to and then they're trying to question, or whenever things get mixed up like that, it's so confusing. And so I think when you have friends that are like, no, I see Bobbi as this and I see Mark as this, and it's the true posture of what we're trying to do, it confirms that I am that light and I am trying to be this light in the world, and she sees it, and that's amazing. And so I think that that is how you continue to hold your posture, is by having other people that see it also. So it's something that, again, I want to share with younger women, because I think it took me a long time to get to this point. There's that quote that like, no one's coming to save you and it's only you and you can only rely on yourself. And the way that it feels like, I never thought that that could happen, and I never thought that that is where we would be. It's so true that at the end of the day, the only person that you can count on is you. So instead of wasting time, wasting energy, wasting your thoughts, your happiness, your joy on what isn't, right? Like, instead of just being like, that person didn't like my post. I know that they're watching. Why won't they encourage me? I told them that I'm doing this like super exciting thing and they turned it into a negative, or I'm liking all of their stuff and trying to support their business. But they're, instead of focusing on all of that, allowing yourself to say, I'm really thankful for the small circle that I have. I'm really thankful for the people that are showing up and supporting me, and I see it. It's really that mindset shift of, I see it. I know who is supporting me and who has my best interest. That's what I'm thankful for. That's what I want to keep focusing on and give my energy to, is that God is allowing me to see that I can see who people are. I think for so long, and like, if my friends will tell you, my family will tell you, I'm like notorious for just being like, oh, everyone's good. And I spent a long time being like, wait, people aren't all good. It took me a really long time to realize that, like literally into my 30s, which is a gift and one of the most awful things to go through. So I think that just being able to see it, understanding that through the years, your circle might be small, but the sooner that you can identify who is really there for you, who wants to see you win, who is cheering for you, the sooner that you can recognize that and just really keep those people close, keep those people in your life, and just know that along the way, other people are going to come into your life that are going to be the light as well. I thought that maybe it was after becoming a mom, or just getting older, I was like, well, I've made all the friends that I'm going to make. Or the people that are in my life are the people that are going to be there forever. And what I want to encourage you in is that there are other people that are going to be in the season of your life that you need them in. And they're out there, but not in your life yet, because you're going to need them down the road. So the message of just really identifying your posture and who you want to be, as well as appreciating your circle, I think is something that I really wanted to speak to today. And something that, as I'm figuring it out and navigating, I think it's important for the audience and for you all listening to figure that out as well, because as you're chasing your dreams, as you're building your business, as you're growing your team, as you're growing your family, all of that is going to be so important. And so that's my thoughts for right now. That was the first thing that I wanted to talk about. I have a notebook of so many other things I want to share, and just especially messages of things that I wish that I would have learned sooner or would have understood sooner. So I hope that this encourages whoever is listening, at whatever time you find this podcast. So I'm thankful for this moment, this understanding, and for being able to share exactly where we are right now. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching today. Make sure you rate, review, like, subscribe, do all the things that help us out. Remember that Beauty School Bobby podcasts drop every Monday. Make sure you follow along on Beauty and Style Network. Bye, guys.